Hello, everybody. This is dathip, and I'm always discussing PC and PlayStation 4. Now, I wanted to pretty much bring about a topic or a series on YouTube discussing the perspective of a consumer based on the platforms that they have on which platforms they should purchase. For this topic today, we're going to discuss from the PC perspective and what systems should you buy: the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. And I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I possibly can in discussing every single situation. So let me raise my voice a little bit. Give me a second. Okay. So from the PC perspective, now a lot of people like to deem the PC as the master race, quote unquote. I just say it for fun, but the PC to me is my most played platform. PlayStation 4 is actually starting to get up there. I'm actually starting to play my PlayStation 4 more than I'm playing my PC. Now, I want to discuss the perspective of a PC gamer like myself, and what platforms would I get? Okay, between the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U. We're talking about home consoles. Let's not talk about handhelds at the moment. Only home consoles. Now, as a PC gamer, we know that PC gaming can have a crutch. We know there's pros and cons for PC gaming. We know that PC gaming is absolutely more powerful in terms of specs. We know that PC has 60 frames per second plus 4K resolution. We know it has superior graphics. It has free online for a lot of games, or actually, it's just the entire nexus of PC gaming. We know that PC gaming is heavily digital based nowadays. Back in the old days, you used to have cartridges, and you also used to have not cartridges, CDs. Okay, to play your games on your PC. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, a lot of PC gamers could be collectors. They could actually buy a lot of games on PC and play them directly on their PC. Games like Fear, Coder, Jade Empire, Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, Unreal Tournament. A lot of these games, Civilization, we keep on going. A lot of these games could be played on the PC via a disc. You didn't need any DRM like Steam, Origin, or Uplay. So you could play those games on the PC, and you can pretty much be a collector. But nowadays, developers, who want to maximize their profit as a company, release their games digitally on the PC because the sales on the PC justify the purchase. PC gaming overall is a viable platform for those who want to get the best experience, but it cost is at the cost of a great investment. You know what I'm saying? PC gaming indeed is more expensive than consoles, period. Nobody's refuting that. But we have the ability to create PCs on a very low budget that are very user-friendly, and they cost like $500 to $600. Now, that's more than a home console, but it's worth your every penny because the lifespan, depending on the specs that you have, can make these games better. Now, one of the biggest cons of PC gaming is that there could be a lack of good ports. Okay, we recently have had games like or should I say recently? I'll say the last 2 or 3 years. Games like Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, Batman: Arkham Knight, huge controversy. Games like Far Cry 4, Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 3 even at launch, Splinter Cell Blacklist. A lot of Ubisoft's games, if you haven't already tell a tale. There's more on my top of my head. There's more. It's not on top of my head. But a lot of these games, Tobin and Kiwami's now I'm on PC, so I thought that was a PlayStation brand exclusive, but now it's coming to PC, but it's not tuned too well in terms of sales and good port. And Dark Souls. So these games have had no good ports. So basically the community has had to either wait for patches from the developers, or they've had to pretty much fix the games like themselves. So that's one of the biggest problems of PC. A lot of these games are being consoleized, and they're pretty much being ported over to the PC, even though they're using PC technology. We wouldn't have this issue in gaming overall if all games were optimized on PC first, and then they were ported to console. Then PC would indeed be the master race. Now, it's not the master race like people say because of how many crappy ports we have had in the past 2 or 3 years. The developers are getting lazy. But overall, from an objective standpoint, PC is still indeed the master race. It's just that developers are held accountable for not bringing these games, or they're outsourcing it to other third-party developers to break their games on PC. You know what I'm saying? Mortal Kombat 9 and King of Fighters 13 and Injustice were both bad ports. And 10. You know what I'm saying? We can, again, I can just keep on getting ports off the top of my head. So a lot of these games have had horrible ports, and developers are held accountable and responsible for destroying the PC master race because they're just lazy. So it's disgusting, and that's one of the biggest cons of PC gaming. Also looking for drivers and such like that. Now, I pretty much, you may think that this video is about PC gaming overall, but I'm still going to I need to give you the foundation of PC gaming before I start going to which platforms you should get console wise. Okay, so PC gaming overall has the best aspect of gaming, and it's comfortable. You're able to use any form of controller to plug into your PC. You can use 360 controllers, Xbox One, PS4, DualShock 3, 1, 2 with USB adapters, NES, N64 with emulators and Sega Genesis, all types of controllers from third-party developers, and just pretty much plug those into your PC, install the drivers automatically if you have Windows 7 or 8, and then it just works from there. So it's very user-friendly. So that's the reason why PC gaming is superior. Now, as again, I said before, PC gaming is the digital foundation of gaming. Again, nobody bothers getting physical copies anymore because most of them are required for DRM. However, we do have options like GOG.com where you're able to get games that are DRM free. As in, when you buy this game, it's yours. You can share with anybody. You can buy a copy of Witcher 3 and you can pretty much install it on as many computers as you want. You're not limited. So that's what's so awesome about PC gaming is that there's alternatives. If you're a person who does not like DRM, I don't like DRM. The last game I purchased on Steam was Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And Dark Souls 2 Scholars of the First Sin on PC. But that's the last game I purchased on Steam, and I'm not buying no more games. I refuse to continue to support DRM. The only game I will buy on a Steam is if it was Half-Life 3 or Doom 4, and I'm going to be forced to get that DRM game. Maybe I'll get it for consoles, but I think I read that Doom 4 will be 60 frames per second, but that's a PC optimized game along with Fallout 4, so it sucks that I had to deal with DRM. I don't like to pirate, I don't steal. I don't support piracy in any shape or form. But that's the foundation of PC gaming overall. So from a PC perspective, looking at the consoles, because a lot of PC gaming, you're saying console peasants, haha, you're running 30 frames per second, 20 frames per second, keep on going. You look at these PC leaders, and you look at the consoles, the only legitimate reason to purchase a console from a PC perspective is one reason only, and that is exclusives. As in, these games are never coming to the PC. Games like The Last of Us are never coming to the PC. Games like Uncharted 4, a lot of JRPGs like Tales franchise, which we're starting to get, but that we don't know. Now, Caesarea Symphonia comes out in 2015 and 2016. A lot of games are not going to be coming to the PC. Okay, they're going to be stuck on the console. So we don't know. We never know whether these games will be coming to the PC. We never get a heads up from the developers. Games like Valkyrie Chronicles took 6 years to be ported to the PC. 6 years. That was a PlayStation 3 exclusive to this day, and yet it finally came to PC. Tales of Symphonia came out on the GameCube back in 2004, and then was ported to the PlayStation 3 in HD, I think in 2013, and then now it's being ported to PC. So PC gamers have practically had to wait roughly 10 years to get Symphonia on PC. 10 years, okay, for that type of game. Now, they could have bought a GameCube or PlayStation 3, or they could have actually emulated on PC, okay? But that's the only way you could have played Symphonia if you like emulation. But emulation has its flaws. But otherwise, from a logical standpoint of a PC gamer, the only reason to get a console is for exclusives. So that's the reason why I have a PlayStation 4. Let me give you an example. I showed this video about 3 times already, but I have only 6. Actually, this is a PlayStation 3 game. Slight proof of these in time, a great game. I have 6 games on the PlayStation 3. I mean, PlayStation 4. Okay? And there's legitimate reasons why I have them on the PlayStation 4. Okay? J-Star's Victory is not available on the PC. I don't think this game is ever going to be coming to the PC. Why? Because JRPGs, or this is not technically RPG, it's like a beat-em-up action game that's heavy with manga fans, J-Star's Victory. This game is going to maximize its profits on the PlayStation 4. A lot of PC gamers' predominant platform of genres is not RPGs, JRPGs specifically. Games like Tales franchise, Tolkien, Neptunia, Final Fantasy. These games are not going to sell like hotcakes on the PC because most PC gamers are playing first-person shooters, MMOs, or RTS games. Okay, that's the predominant genres that are being played on PC. These games are not going to sell well, sadly. Games like Resident Revelations hasn't sold well on PC. Bloodborne never come to PC. Why? Because it's by, unless you can see it, From Software. Okay, That's it's the same developers who made Demon Souls back in the day. It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, never coming. Injustice. Why did I get the PS4 version? Because the PC version is broken on launch. It took 8 months to fix the game, just like Mortal Kombat 9. It took 8 months. Constant updates. Okay, and it's not what's his name? It's not NetherRealm Studios who did Mortal Kombat 9 10 with that game. It's actually because the netcode is broken. Okay, it was another studio which I can't remember. It's not Iron Galaxies. It's another one. I can't remember. But they ported the game to the PC, and the netcode is horrible. They've practically broken every NetherRealm's games. Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and Injustice all broken for online. Now performance-wise, single player and offline gaming is not a problem, but playing online is broken, and it took several months. And I should never have to wait that long for a game like that. Okay. Overall, fighting games don't even do well in terms of for the PC a lot. King of Fighters 13, Guilty Gear Asuka, Blaze Blue, Calamity Trigger, and Continuum Shift, not good on PC. Okay, just not good in terms of netcode. A little better than Mortal Kombat 9 Injustice and Mortal Kombat 10, but not as good as these other games. You know what I'm saying? Guilty Gear. Okay, Guilty Gear has been making its comeback on PC now. You've been seeing Asuka, you've been seeing, I forgot the other Guilty Gears, but you've been seeing more Guilty Gears pop up. But I bet you we're not going to be able to get this game on PC until like 2016 or 17, and I'm not waiting that long to get it. Fighting games, again, like I said, I don't buy fighting games on PC because a lot of the times the netcode is horrible. And Mortal Kombat 10, as you know, this game was broken on PC, period. I have a discussion. So that's 6 games I only have for the PlayStation 4. I just gave you legitimate reasons. So, these games could either be broken in terms of netcode. They'll probably never come to PC because it takes several years to come after a port. And there's legitimate reasons why. Okay? So I choose a PlayStation 4 personally, you know, from my perspectives. Now, why? I don't have an Xbox One or Wii U. Now, again, this is PC versus PC perspective on what console to get. Why did I choose a PlayStation 4 over the PC? One of the biggest reasons why I chose the PlayStation 4 over, it's not over the PC, I'm sorry, over the Xbox One and the Wii U, is because it has the most amount of JRPGs. I'm a big, huge JRPG fanatic. I like JRPGs more than I like Western RPGs like Witcher, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. I like JRPGs like Final Fantasy, Tales franchise, Suikoden, and Neptunia. Not so much of a Neptunia, but you get my point. God Eater, you know, Ys, Persona. These games, none of them are on the PC, and they're all coming to the PlayStation 4. Okay, all these games are coming to the PlayStation 4. Ys has a new installment coming, another Suikoden coming for PlayStation 4. You know, Final Fantasy 15. We don't know if this game is coming to the PC, but like, you know, we have to wait how many years for Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns to come on PC. Lightning Returns is still not on PC yet. But how many years do we have to wait for for Final Fantasy 13? We had to wait how long? It came out in 2009 or 10, and we had to wait 4 years. Really? That's ridiculous. I have 13 too because 13 was abysmal. Okay, but nevertheless, these Japanese developers are more console established gamers. You know what I'm saying? Developers. They're not PC. They're not PC market is not doing great in Japan. Okay. That's not where their market is. Market is consoles. It's always been consoles. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, these games are not coming to the PC. Now, if these games are already coming to PC and they were greatly ported, then it would be factually better. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of reasons why people game on consoles, you know, over PC is because they want to have a physical copy of their game. DRM is a big issue on PC gaming. Okay. Where I don't own the game, I rent it. If Steam were to go down, I couldn't play my games. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. That's why I'm finishing on my Steam library, and I'm pretty much going to focus on PlayStation after that. I'm not going to be touching any games on PC except for Doom 4 and Fallout 4. But I'm not in a rush for Fallout 4. But Doom 4 is a day one buy for me. So, from a PC perspective, I chose the PlayStation 4 for number one, for JRPGs. Number two, superior multiplats that are only for the consoles. So games like Guilty Gear, okay, are on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. Now, what version would I would get? The PS4. Why? Because it's at 110p and it's at 60 frames per second, while the PlayStation 3 version is at 720p and 30 frames per second. And that could cause some issues for those who want to move on to next gen. Okay. Another game, J-Stars Victory, a PlayStation brand exclusive on the Vita, PlayStation 3, not released for PlayStation Vita here yet. You got the Japanese imported, but this game is better on the PlayStation 4. This is 180p, while the PlayStation 3 version is 720p. So that's the reason why you go over it. Games are console exclusives, in general. You look at Sunset Overdrive, what I'm saying? Now I don't get PC, but do you want to wait for a PC port, or do you want to get it now on the Xbox One? Is that 720p, or is it 900p, 30 frames per second? Or do you probably want to wait after a year later and get at 180p, 60 frames per second? It all varies. It's all dependent. So, it depends on the idea of the gamer. So I chose the PlayStation 4 because it's giving me games that are exclusive to the console. Okay, a lot of JRPGs. 2 reasons why, and I think the third reason why the PlayStation 4 is superior to the other competition. Again, you have all the third-party support, which again ties into the first 2 reasons. You know what I'm saying? But the PlayStation 4 just has a bigger community based on sales. You know what I'm saying? PC gaming overall, there's a lot of games on PC, but a lot of communities are dead on the PC. A lot of community is dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just that in terms of an install base for a franchise, are not playing these games. You know what I'm saying? If J-Stars, you take a Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. I made a mistake of doing this. I bought Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse on the PC. Okay? The maximum people who have played this game on Steam is like 2,000 people. Xenoverse version on PC runs 60 frames per second. Great port. Okay, it was on 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 3. Okay, I think it's PS3, 360. Whatever, you get my point. So he's on 5 platforms, not the Wii U though, because we ain't getting no third-party support. And the install base is bigger on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 combined, okay, or alone, than the PC. 2,000 players playing on Dragon Ball Xenoverse a day. Okay, how many people are playing Xenoverse on the PlayStation 3 and 4? Roughly like 200,000 people a day. You can easily do quests with each other. You'll never have trouble finding these players to play these games. You will never have problems. Well, on PC, even though the lifespan of these games lasts longer, you have to pretty much befriend those on Steam in order to pretty much get them involved in the competition. You know what I'm saying? In order to build an install base. Games like Strike Vector X is coming to the PlayStation 4. That was on PC, I think, about a year ago. But the PC community is dead on that game, while the PlayStation 4 version is going to be fresh and new. People are still playing Resogun. You know what I'm saying? On PlayStation 4, plenty of people still playing Resogun. You have no trouble finding a game. Okay? While the PC version has, again, a longer lifespan, a lot of these games install base are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Same logic can be applied to the PlayStation 4, but the lifespans are lasting much longer. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you usually want to buy a game like this at launch or relatively close after launch and then play it and enjoy it. But PC gaming install bases are much shorter in these games because most PC gamers are playing Dota, they're playing Team Fortress 2, they're playing RTS games like Total War, Atelier, and Empire World. And other games, but these games are not, they're not going to be doing great on the PC in terms of an install base. So that's the biggest problem I have with PC gaming. But from a PlayStation 4's perspective, these games are not coming. So overall, bigger install base when it comes to certain franchises, JRPGs, of course, again, all the third-party support, and a console exclusives only for the console competition. If I look at the perspective of the Xbox One and Wii U, which I'll be doing in the next video, then we're going to be seeing some more disappointment. But I will show you that after I upload these videos. So if you are a person who loves JRPGs, you want a bigger install base of games, and you want a variety, you might want to get a PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 4 is bringing you games, and they just keep coming up with more games. I mean, this year, I'm going to name you 7 games that are exclusively coming to the PlayStation 4. Godzilla, July 14th. Once You Number Z2 Chaos, July 14th, same day. God of War 3 well, it's a remastered version, but it's coming July 14th that same day, so that does not count. The Uncharted Collection technically also doesn't count because it's a bunch of ports at 60 frames per second, but it's remastered and has a collection. It's only on PS4, not PS3. Okay. So that technically doesn't count. You have Des Gaia 5 coming October 6th. You have Dragon Quest Heroes coming October 13th. Uncharted Collection coming October 9th. That's 3 games within a week. Wow. And you have Earth Defense Force 4-1 coming in November 3rd. And lastly, you have not Persona 5, but that I'm looking forward to that. Day 1 buy. Cannot wait for that game. And you know, quiet. Sorry, my dog's barking. And there's one more game, and I can't think of the game at the moment, but there's more games coming for the PlayStation 4. You also have games that are PlayStation brand exclusive. Games like Sword Art Online coming this year. You have on what else do you have? You have Persona 5 is a PlayStation brand exclusive as well. PS1, PS3 only. J-Star's Victory is and Guilty Gear. These 2 games right here are PlayStation brand exclusives. Guilty Gear has a chance of coming on PC as well as J-Star's Victory, but we know Bandai and Namco, they just are reluctant to release games on PC. I'm not waiting 6 years. So this is a very long video. More games coming to the PlayStation 4 this year. Look it up. I will advise everyone who wants to complete damage control of this, go on Amazon.com, go to the video game section, look at the pre-orders, and then look at the list of the games that are coming out this year. A few of them are still not updated, but if you go to GameStop or go to other sources like a GameSpot, and IGN and with DualShockers, you look at the updates. Push Square, you look at the updates over these release dates of these games. So you gotta look at those games, the release dates. But a lot of them are coming. Until Dawn, another one. There we go. Until Dawn. It's the top of my head now. These games are coming to the PlayStation 4. So a lot of people say that there's barely any major AAA games coming to the PlayStation 4, but a lot of them are coming to the PlayStation 4. They may not be AAA to you. I mean, how you define a AAA game? You know what I'm saying? Persona 5 is a big, huge franchise, one of the best JRPGs in the entire series, but yet you dismiss it as irrelevant because, you know, it's for whatever reason you like. You don't like JRPGs in general. You don't like RPGs in general because you're a dude, bro, which I hate. You know what I'm saying? It depends. But the PlayStation 4 is your viable platform from a PC perspective when you want exclusives. And when it comes to the quantity and quality of exclusives coming to the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 is offering you that. And aside from games that are coming out this year, and even next year, you have games like Killzone Shadowfall, The Warriors in 86, even though that game was trash to me. That's just personally, subjectively speaking. A 5-hour game with that amount of content for a $60 price tag, you know, it's dwindled down, still not worth it to me. You have Infamous Second Son, Bloodborne, I just said that, I already had that. There's more on top of my head, Drive Club, you know what I'm saying? Other ones are already out for you to enjoy the PlayStation 4. But again, like I said, for my reasons, from a PC perspective, is console only games for the competition, okay? JRPGs and a bigger install base. So that's how it is when it comes from a PC perspective. Sadly, you do have to pay for online for PlayStation 4, but that's okay. So, guys, that was my long, huge video of PlayStation for PC perspective on PlayStation 4. So, I hope you guys like this. I tend to do a lot of stuttering, but for my next video, I'm going to try to keep it less off track. So, thanks for watching. dathip out. And I know my poster's down there is broken.